welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a quick morning movement routine incorporating some yoga and Pilates style movements. So I asked over on my Instagram what you would be interested in seeing for these weekly practices, and I was surprised to see that a lot of you were really interested in affirmations. So today we are going to be using affirmations, and we are going to be starting lying down on our backs. But before we get started, I just wanted to go through a little bit about affirmations if this isn't something that you're familiar with. When we use positive affirmations, we're creating a clear statement in order to solidify our thoughts on the things that we want to change. So the goal for positive affirmations is that our brain becomes accustomed to hearing this positive dialogue rather than this negative dialogue that we may be used to. Affirmation that I'm going to be offering you to use today is, I am free from anything that weighs me down. If this speaks to you, please feel free to use it throughout the practice. And if something else you think might be better suited for you this morning, maybe you're feeling really anxious, you can use something like, I am in control or I am safe. Just make sure that the affirmation is something short and concise so that you can remember it throughout the day. With that being said, let's get started. We're going to start lying down on your back. So take your time to make your way onto your back. Draw the shoulder blades a bit closer together. Allow the palms to face up towards the ceiling, the feet to separate. Begin to draw your attention to your breath. And come back to your affirmation. So, I am free from anything that weighs me down. And as you continue to repeat this to yourself silently, notice the tension start to leave your body. If you're practicing in the morning, you might have a lot of things to check off today. Just try to let those go and stay focused on the present moment. And continue to come back to that affirmation. I am free from anything that weighs me down. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, wrapping the hands around the shins. Rock side to side. Exhale to release the feet towards the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. We're going to set up for thread the needle. So weave the right arm through, grabbing onto the underside of the left leg. Shoulders are in line with the hips. Make sure you're not leaning into one side more than the other. Flex the right foot. Press that right knee away from you, opening up through the right side. One more full breath. And exhale, slowly release, switch sides, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Come into your thread the needle on this side, taking your time to get there. Exhale, slowly release, uncross the legs. Both feet are rooted into the mat, about hip width apart. And you want to be able to graze the backs of the feet with the middle finger, so they're close enough to the body. From here, you're going to keep both thighs together. So as if you're zipping up through the thighs, you're going to keep them like that. Imagine there's a block in between the feet, so just enough space in between the feet. Both arms are going to come to your sides, palms face down. Start to tuck the tailbone under, so you're pressing the lower back into the mat. There's no space underneath the back body. The belly button draws in towards the spine. You're slowly going to start to lift the tailbone first, then slowly vertebrae by vertebrae lifting the rest of the body. You're not coming up too high, so just a long diagonal line through the chest, the legs. Keep those knees and thighs squeezed together. The shoulders are soft, the face is soft. As you exhale, you're going to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale. Tilt the pelvis so the lower back lifts gently up and off the mat. Exhale to press the lower back in, tuck the tailbone, lifting up. Good, so this is kind of like a massage through the back, slowly moving with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale to draw the belly in, start to lift the tailbone, vertebrae by vertebrae. Exhale, slowly release. So nice and slow, just warming up. And last one. Okay, from here you're going to stay lifted. Take a moment to adjust the shoulders slightly, so you might draw the shoulder blades in towards one another, coming even higher up onto the shoulders as you lift the hips. Continue to squeeze the thighs in towards one another. The glutes are engaged here to protect the lower back. And we're going to pulse here for 10, lowering only an inch. 9, as you lift, squeezing the glutes. 8, 7, 6, you don't want to feel any pain in the lower back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, lift and hold here. And exhale, slowly rolling down the spine. And just let that go. Take the feet nice and wide. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Lift the knees back up, then start to lift the feet and point the toes. We're going to come into tabletop position. Keep the toes pointed, the knees are stacked just over the hips. Arms are still at your sides. So as if we're going into that bridge, again, you're going to press the lower back into the mat and really engage through the core. The ribs are wrapping in towards one another. On the exhale, you're going to lower the right foot to tap the toes and then slowly lift back up. Good. Inhale, to lower. Exhale as you lift, alternating as you go. Keep that lower back pressing into the mat. Don't let the knees come further than the hips. We're going to do 10 more, so 10, 9, 8, nice and strong, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, should start to feel it in the core here, 2, and last one, keep the legs lifted. From here, you're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest, not crunching too much. Start to lift the chest up and off the mat. You'll feel the lower abs squeeze together. Arms are at your sides, slightly lifted from the mat, palms face up. Good, then we'll continue here again. Lower the right knee and lift. Left side and lift. Tap the toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands are going to come behind the head. Keep the chest lifted. Allow the head to soften into the hands. And you're going to extend the right leg. Left knee draws in, right elbow comes to left knee. Taking some bicycles here, switch sides, knee comes in, other side. Left elbow to right knee. For 10, 9, 8, try to stick with it, keep that chest lifted. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Stay lifted here. Exhale, slowly lower the head and shoulders down. Arms come to your sides. You can lower the feet. Tuck the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side. From here, hands are going to come underneath the thighs, and you're going to start to roll yourself up and down the spine. If this is too much, you can just come into seated. So take a few rolls. This should feel really good on the back body until you make your way all the way up to seated. From here, knees are bent, feet are rooted into the mat, sitting nice and tall, shoulders stacked over the hips. We're going to inhale, lift the hands up and overhead. As you exhale, start to draw the belly in towards the spine. As the spine travels back in space, arms come out in front of you, finding that C curve. Really rooting through both feet as you lower back. Inhale, come all the way through, belly to thighs. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, come back up and into your straight spine. We'll do that a few more times. Exhale to round. Inhale as you're back here, strong through the core. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, round and lower. Come as low as you can with keeping those feet rooted into the mat. Exhale to come forward. Belly comes towards the thighs. Inhale, rise back up, nice and strong. Exhale to round and lower, C curve. Soften through the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to come forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, round, come back. This time we're going to hold here. Find a place that you feel secure, but it's still challenging for you. We're going to twist to the right and open the arms. Exhale, come back to center. Twist to the left, open the arms. Good, nice and sturdy. We'll do that 2 more times, both sides. 1, and to the left, 2. Try to keep that back nice and strong. Last one. And left, open for 2. Slowly come back up. Belly comes to thighs. Inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands release to your sides. So shift your butt back slightly and start to draw the weight into the feet. As you lift yourself up, we're going to make our way into our chair pose. So knees are bent as if you're sitting in a chair. Knees don't come over the ankles. Sweep the hands up and overhead. Tuck the tailbone. You want that nice long spine continuing up and into the fingertips. See if you can sink a little bit lower. Good. See if you can lift the toes up and off the mat. Spread them nice and wide. Then slowly lower back down. Shifting the weight back into the heels, you should feel the glutes fire up. Gaze comes to the top of your mat. Three more full breaths here. Try to stick with it. Don't lose your foundation. And last breath on the inhale. You're going to take the hands out in front of you and start to lift all the way up. Come high up onto the tippy toes, lifting the heels nice and high. Might take a minute to find your balance here. Keep the arms nice and strong in front of you. Drop the shoulders back. See if you can lift the heels even higher. Might start to feel it in the arms. Try to stay with it here. If you find your mind going into that negative space, come back to your affirmation. I am free from whatever weighs me down. From here, keep the knees or keep the heels lifted as you slowly start to bend the knees. Shouldn't feel any pressure in the knees, though. You're continuing to shift that weight back. Draw the shoulders back as well. I am free from whatever weighs me down. Inhale, start to lengthen through both legs. Lift the heels as high as you can. And then exhale to lower. Arms come to your sides. Shake that out, let it go. We'll find mountain pose, standing nice and strong. Inhale to sweep the hands up and overhead, open through the chest. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And come to the middle of the mat and step your left foot back. So you're high onto the tippy toes. Heel is lifted. Here we're going to set up for warrior 3. Imagine you're hinging from the hips here. So we're going to start to shift the weight into the right leg. That knee is not locked as you start to lift the left leg. And hinging from the hips, body moves as one. Just come as far down as you can. And then inhale slowly back. Just toes lightly tap the mat. Exhale to lower back down. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, slowly make your way back up. Exhale. See if you can keep your hips straight towards the mat so they're even. Might feel a little bit shaky like I am. That's more than okay. Come back to your affirmation. You have more control over this situation than you might think. Last one, you're going to come forward and hold here. Make sure the hips are in line with the mat underneath you. We're going to pulse the left foot up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, step that foot back to find your crescent lunge. Sweep the hands up and overhead. Bend into the right knee. Exhale, hands come to frame the right foot. Step back into your high plank. Exhale to find your flow. If you need to drop your knees, that's more than okay. Inhale, lift the chest. Gaze is down. Exhale to find your downward facing dog. And bend the knees, look towards the hands. Make your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Slowly roll yourself all the way up. Last thing to lift is the head and shoulders roll back. Inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead, open through the chest. Exhale, the hands to heart center. Move into the other side, step the right foot back. High onto the toes, heel is lifted, hips are square to the front of the room. And hinging from the hips, moving the body as one. We're going to start to shift the weight into the left foot and start to lift the right. Gaze can stay on one point on the mat. Inhale, slowly lift yourself back up. And if you fall out of it, just come back in without judgment. Come back to your affirmation if you need to. Moving nice and slow. Use the breath to guide you here. Inhale as you lift yourself. Exhale, use the core as your foundation. Bend into the left knee slightly. Inhale to rise. Do 2 more just like that. Ooh, losing my balance a bit here, that's okay. And last one, take your time. Holding at the top here, we're going to pulse the right foot, squeezing into the right glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it back. Find your crescent lunge. Sweep the hands up and overhead. Exhale, the hands frame the right foot this time. Left foot, step back. Find your flow. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Give those hamstrings a bit of a stretch. Allow the head to hang heavy. Lengthen through the back body. Lower the knees down towards the mat. Shift the hips back towards the heels. Find your child's pose. Breathe into the belly. Start to to walk the hands over to the left side. Exhale to sink into the right hip. Feel the ribs expand through the right side. And walk the hands all the way over to the right side. Exhale to sink into the left. Make your way back through center. And when you're ready, come into a comfortable seated position to end our practice. Nice and quick this morning. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes, allow both hands to rest on the knees, sit up nice and tall. Come back to your breath. I am free from anything that weighs me down. Notice the heart rate start to slow, or just simply notice how it feels to sit here in your body, especially after a little bit of movement. We'll close out with one deep breath all together. So deep breath in, fill